title of contestant number 6 oration is Time to Give Back.
The U.S. Constitution was first signed on September 17, 1787, by a group of people known as the Framers. This group consisted of 55 people, but only 39 of them actually signed the Constitution. It was constructed to make a better government because the one under the Articles of Confederation kind of fell through. It was short, sweet, and to the point, running about 10 pages long, containing 7 articles. Today's Constitution has those same 7 articles with an addition of 27 amendments. The articles contain basic information on your 3 branches of government, general provisions, states' relations, the amendment process, and ratifications to the Constitution. The 3 branches of government are the legislative, executive, and judicial branches. The legislative branch is Congress. This is made up of the Senate and the House of Representatives. These people make our bills. The bills then go to the executive branch. This branch is made up of the President of the United States, who's also known as the Commander-in-Chief of our armed forces. The President has the right to either veto or sign the bill into law. If it is vetoed, it then goes back down to Congress, where they have to receive a 2/3 majority. When this occurs, the President then must sign that bill into law. If there's ever a question of the constitutionality of that bill or law, it is then sent to the Supreme Court. This court is what makes up the judicial branch. These 9 justices have the right to interpret the bill or law and deem it constitutional. If it is ever found unconstitutional, then it is shut down completely. Then there are the 27 amendments. The first 10 were brought about when James Madison, who is also known as the father of our Constitution, brought 12 amendments to the first Congress in 1789. Out of the 12, 10 were passed into a bill we know now as the Bill of Rights. The Bill of Rights state each individual's rights as a U.S. citizen, whether it be the right to a trial by jury, the right to free speech, or everybody's favorite, the right to remain silent. Then there are the other 17 amendments. These were either brought about because of a major historical event, like the Civil War, which brought about Amendments 13, 14, and 15, or it was simply placed to repeal another amendment, like Amendment 21 was placed to repeal Amendment 18, the ban on liquor. As U.S. citizens, we have rights and responsibilities that we must uphold, whether it be paying our taxes, attending jury duty, obeying our laws, or voting. Taxes are collected at the local, state, and federal levels, and within those are many different types of taxes. Income tax is collected by the federal and some state governments. These governments take a certain percentage of the income that you made during a certain year. There are also local taxes on conventional items like books, clothing, and other necessities. Oddly enough, there is no tax on food, but don't let this fool you. If you go to McDonald's or Burger King or any restaurant like that, you have to pay taxes here because the government sees these as processed goods rather than actual food. Now, if you go to Walmart, Winn-Dixie, or even Publix, you don't have to pay taxes here. But make sure you watch out for things like pretzels and chips because these are considered snacks. There's also an excise tax on gasoline, alcohol, and tobacco products. The government put an extra tax on these items because they saw it as unnecessary for a human to have on a daily basis. So they slipped a little bit extra money on those. Not everyone likes to pay their taxes, but the money from taxes go to government services that we usually take for granted, like public schools and libraries, prisons, the law enforcement, fire department, and also our national and state parks. The right to have a trial by jury is stated in the 6th Amendment and preserved in the 7th. But how can we have a trial without the jury? Jury members are randomly selected throughout all registered voters. You also have to reside in the county of which the trial is being taken place. Failure to show up to jury duty without a legitimate excuse, like a hospital emergency or excessive work, can lead you to being held in contempt of the courts. Once you arrive, you will then receive a number. When that number is called upon, you will then be asked questions from the two attorneys, the prosecuting and defense attorneys. If you're not selected for the final jury, that's okay. It still counts as your jury duty for the year. However, if you are selected for the final jury, you're expected to make an honest verdict based solely on the evidence, testimonies, and laws that were brought about during the trial. There should not be any emotion involved when making that verdict. There are many different laws out there, and each state has its own set of laws. In Florida, it's legal to make a right-hand turn at a red light, but in other states, it's illegal to do so. But make sure you watch out in Florida and those other legal states for lights or signs that permit you to make that right-hand turn. Then there are drinking and driving laws, which were brought about by the Mothers Against Drunk Driving, or MADD. This law states that you cannot consume any alcohol, then drive a motorized vehicle, even if it's a golf cart or even a boat. This is to keep the roads and the waters not only safe for you, but also for those around you as well. There are also seatbelt laws, or in Florida known as click it or tickets. This law states that everyone in the car must wear a seatbelt unless you're 18 years or older and riding in the back seat. Laws are placed to keep order in society. Without laws, we would still have our rights, but there won't be anyone to stop others from infringing on or taking away our rights. Even if you're not a U.S. citizen, you can still be convicted for breaking the law. Voting is also done at the local, state, and federal levels. But unlike taxes and jury duty, it's not mandatory to vote. You do, however, have to be 18 years or older, reside in the city, state, and county of which you're registering to vote, and also be a U.S. citizen. If you are ever convicted of a felony, your right to vote is revoked. However, in some states, they allow you to carry out your sentence, then give you your voting privileges back to you. There are no laws that state you have to vote, but it is highly recommended, because this is the chance to put someone into office who you think best represents you. You can vote for your president, your senators, your House of Representatives, and even your local city council. As Thomas Jefferson once stated, quote, "The government you elect is government you deserve," unquote. There are also many different ways to be involved in the political process. The first being political participation. This is the signing of or getting others to sign petitions. And also you can attend political rallies. There's also civic engagement, which is hands-on activities like volunteering for a cause or working on a committee or a subcommittee for a public problem. The U.S. Constitution has been around for over 200 years. The least we can do as U.S. citizens is pay our taxes correctly and on time, attend jury duty when we can, obey all the laws that were set for us, and vote, if applicable. Thank you.
Time for contestant number 6, 8 minutes, 28 seconds, no penalty. Contestant number 6, your assigned topic.
In 1789, James Madison brought 12 amendments to the first Congress. Out of the 12, 10 were passed into a bill we know now as the Bill of Rights. The Bill of Rights state each individual's rights as a U.S. citizen. The First Amendment provides the right to practice our own religion, to assemble, to petition, to press, and to speech. The founders believed that the freedom of expression was the most important under the protected rights. The right to practice your own religion provides the freedom of religious practice in the freedom from being forced to believe in any one religion. There are two main clauses that make up the right to practice your own religion, or none at all. The first being the free exercise clause. Here, individuals may practice their own religion without fear of government coercion to conform to any one religion or type of religion. There were times, however, where Jews and Catholics were prohibited from holding office at the state level. Also, in 1961, Maryland didn't allow for nonconformers or believers to hold any type of office. Then there was the Free Establishment Clause. This was placed to keep the church and the state separate from each other. One main issue regarding the right to practice your own religion is prayer times in schools. In 1962 and 63, the Supreme Court ruled that there were restrictions. One being the organized prayer times led by school officials. This was put about because the nonconformers and believers would feel pressure from the other teachers and the students. Also, teachers can teach about religion, but they cannot promote it through prayer times. The right to assemble provides the right for us to come together in a public or private gathering. We can join groups for religious, social, recreational reasons. By doing this, American citizens can easily promote their ideas to others. The right to press provides the freedom of prior restraints or censorship. Press can only be held responsible for what they print after the fact. In a ruling by the Berger Court, they found that reporters cannot guarantee the anonymity of their sources without fear of being held in contempt or jailed. They also found that judges can impose gag orders on the press regarding the evidence of a crime while the trial is at hand. The right to petition the government provides the right for us to ask for changes or adjustments in government. We can do this by signing petitions and sending them to our elected representatives. We can also call, email, and write to them as well. The final right under this amendment is the freedom of speech. This stops the government from making any laws that can stop me or you from saying what we feel or think. A type of speech is speech plus conduct. This is the use of symbols rather than words to convey ideas. For example, the wearing of black armbands to protest the Vietnam War, the wearing of the flag on the seat of your pants, and also the burning of the flag itself. The First Amendment provides us with our 5 basic rights: the right to petition the government, the right to assemble, the right to press, the right to speech, and the right to practice our own religion. Thank you.
Time for contestant number 6. 3 minutes, 54 seconds, no penalty.